Hey guys, this is Lindsay with Garage Door Reviews. If you are looking for a beginner multi-purpose bar, one that doesn't cost a ton but is going to hold up well over time, you don't need anything fancy. You don't need bearings. You don't need aggressive center knurling. You are just needing something that is going to maybe potentially be your first bar. Honestly, the Fringe W2 Bar is the first bar I got. It's something I wanted to talk about because I have had this bar here for over 2 years now, and it is held up so well. Before we get into the details of this, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Also, if you want to go ahead and purchase this, we've placed a link below the like button. And the company didn't send us this, which I know I say a lot. I actually bought this bar myself, and I'm really happy that I did. When it comes to this bar, you have two different options. So you have your bushings or your bearings. The bearing is going to create more spin within the bar. So if you are somebody who is primarily looking to do a lot of Olympic lifts, that might be something to consider, although it is more expensive. With the bushings, it is cheaper, but it's not going to have as big of a spin. Truthfully, I think that is actually better for somebody who's, again, looking for a multi-training purpose bar. So let's say you're doing a lot of CrossFit pieces. Maybe you have some Olympic lifts. Maybe you're doing some powerlifting. Something like the Fringe W2 Bar is going to be a really good option. When I actually got this bar, I was doing a lot of Olympic lifts. And again, it's a bushing system, so it didn't create the most spin. However, I didn't mind that. I actually felt like because of that, I was able to focus on my technique a little bit better. So I really don't think you have to have the best or the most gadgeted out bar. I mean, something like this, even though it is like a cheaper end, is going to work really well. So talking about cost, right now on their website, the bushing version is $193. That's actually cheaper than when I bought it. A lot of times Fringe has sales, so if you see it for more expensive, just make sure to check back in about a week or two because they are constantly updating their prices. For the bearing option, it's $233 right now. Normally, it's around $279. With this bar, it has a 25mm shaft. So I know that this is geared more towards maybe a women's bar, right? It's $15K. However, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of men online post that they actually train with the women's bar if the space is limited. So if you do own a home gym, or maybe you are building your home gym, but you don't have a ton of space, it might be something to consider because this is going to be a shorter length than what we experience with the 20K men's bar. The overall length of this is 79 inches. This is pretty standard. You're not going to see a lot of variation in size, compared to something like the Colorado bar or the Titan Fitness bar or the Nike bar. They're all around 78 to 79 inches. This is made from alloy steel with a black zinc coating over top. Now, black zinc is normally something I kind of say, listen, if you are going to get this, just know that it is going to wear out over time. We've experienced that with the Bella bar. If you've watched our other review on the Bella bar, or we have a roundup on different women's bars, you'll see that the black zinc coating is kind of worn off of it. I've had this bar, like I said earlier, for over 2 years, and although there is some wear and tear to it, the black zinc coating on this has actually stood up very well. And I mean, I have dropped this from overhead hundreds of times. I have brought this outside to do barbell cycling. It has seen a ton of use and handled it obviously really well. Does it look brand new? No, but does it look bad? I don't think so. Like I said, it is a 15K or a 33-pound bar, and it does have a weight capacity of 1,000 pounds. Now, I have not tested that. Most I have loaded up on this bar is 300 pounds, and I've done that multiple times. And it's held up really well. It's continued to work really well. So I am not sure. I can't speak to that 1,000-pound weight capacity, but so far, everything that I've used on this has stood up really well. It comes with a 12.5-inch sleeve. And again, that's pretty standard, pretty typical to what we see with other women's bars. And it does have dual markings. So it has your IWF and then your IPF markings. So your international weight lifting and then your international powerlifting marking, so that if you need to just go ahead, walk up to the bar, let's say you're doing your snatch or let's say you're doing a deadlift, you know where to place your hand. Now here's my one huge call out to this, although I will say it's also not really a call out. So anytime we are researching bars, we say it needs to be at least 180,000 PSI for kind of like your entry level. However, this is only 160,000. So for me, that's kind of a concern. However, I haven't had any issues with it so far. So again, we typically recommend a higher PSI, something between that 180,000 up to like a 200,000 range. This is lower at 160,000. But I have not experienced any sort of like durability or stability issues while using this bar so far. One huge positive that I have to talk about with this bar is that it has a lifetime warranty. We only see that so far with like Rogue. A lot of other companies offer maybe 2 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years, not lifetime warranty. So even though you do have that lower PSI, keep in mind you do have a lifetime warranty with this bar. So if you are going to experience any sort of breaking down, any sort of trouble, go ahead, contact Fringe, and they should send you a new bar. In terms of the knurling, it looks like a pretty passive volcano knurling. This is not going to be the grippiest bar that you're going to have. So if you are somebody doing really heavy deadlifts, that might be a concern for you. But overall, I think most people will find the knurling on this really comfortable on their hands. Is this the best bar I have ever used? No, but also I'm kind of really privileged and really lucky that we get a ton of bars in here and I get to test all of them. However, am I upset that I bought this as my first bar? Like, absolutely not. Would I do it over again? For sure. Like, this has held up so nice. It has gotten a lot of use. I will continue to use this bar, especially given its cost point right now of under $200. Like, I don't think you can go wrong. Let us know in the comments if you've used this bar by Fringe Sport. This has been Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews.